Welcome back to Al Talks podcast. As you would have seen from last week's video, I will be doing finally. The day has come when I'm returning to stand up. I'm doing a Halloween party at one of the pubs I visit, and I said in the last episode that there was going to be one more person doing stand up with me that night, but that's actually going to make an omission here. He's not going to be doing stand up, he's going to be playing music. And he's one of the locals who goes into into that same pub. And me and him had a very, very interesting conversation. He was telling me how he discovered, because asking me about how long he was doing comedy and what else, and I said I'd do a podcast, and he said okay, because he was telling me how he discovered podcasts. So he was telling me that he learned about podcasts from like early Joe Rogan, back when he didn't have Jamie as a producer. He had Red Band, and they were doing it like kind of a live stream sort of scenario, and they were doing the podcast and like in an office in Joe's house. So this is obviously Joe Rogan's gone on to Spotify now, and he's in Texas, in Austin. But before this, this is 10 years ago, so it would have been 2011, 2012. And and he remembers. So Brian would know all the comics that I like, like Joey Diaz, Ari Shaffir, Duncan Trussell, Brad Band, Eddie Bravo. He knows all of those. And we were chatting away about that, and then he asked me why did I want to do stand up. And initially, I said, is it for a message? Are you trying to spur a message? Is there any, it was a very, very good question. I had to kind of ponder it for a bit, and I said, initially I got into it just to see if I could do it. And because I thought I had something to say that was funny. And I like making people laugh, like, in my group of friends, I would always crack jokes. Like, we love making each other laugh. And whatever else. And I just wanted to see if I could transfer those jokes into basically the stage. And just give it a try. Like, if you never try anything, you never know if you succeed or not. So I'm preparing now for. I'll go back to the kind of the conversation. We talked a bit more about it, but yeah. And he was saying to me like he would love to do music full time, and I said you could use social media really to do it. Nowadays it's fairly easy, TikTok or whatever else and all that. And one of my friends, James, who's featured on the channel, if you go into the All Talks podcast channel in the featured videos, James Breen Music, that's one of my friends. He's in a band called Dust and Bone with another fella called James. Brilliant musician, so you definitely should check out his channel. Put a link in the description in this episode as well. But yeah, so I'm getting kind of getting ready, getting myself prepared mentally, physically, emotionally for the return of stand-up. There's this year the Galway Comedy Festival is going ahead, so the Laughter Lounge are after doing 2 days indoor as well. The thing would have been last week, I think it was Monday and Tuesday. The Hardy Har down on Wicklow, Wexford, I can't remember. They did 2 indoor shows as well, so looks to be getting into the full swing of things. Bands are coming back. I got to see Thunderslap again last week. My friend's band. I put a link in the description for this episode as well. For the second time, hearing them, as usual, brilliant. For very well, very talented players, all from professional groups. So so it's coming to be. I'm about a month away at this stage from back into stand up. So like I said, I'm excited. You mightn't see it in my face. I'm not going "Ee," or anything like that, but it's definitely it. I'm not nervous at the moment, really, because a lot of people are going to be there. Be you know, I'm not going to have family members there because we don't need that. But it's look, it's one of the pubs I go to, so it's a good crowd. I know the people there. I know the owner, owners or owner really. So it's gonna be great to be back. In other news, I have none. That's the biggest one, really, since I've been unveiled. And it was just, it's really strange, for me going, oh, I don't know if I'll get a spot here or there to go on, boom, doing a Halloween party. Brian providing support and music after me, so it'll be interesting, because there'll be other bands throughout the day as well. So there'll be as I mentioned, Toxic Twins. I think I'm gonna be playing along with other bands to be announced. There won't be tickets around, so no, there's no ticket sales. Because it's gonna be for myself. See how I get into it. Obviously, after the show, I'll let you know how I get on and everything else. Right here on YouTube on Al Talks Podcast. But the plan going forward then is still trying to figure out the logistics for the 50th episode special. That's gonna be fun. And then in the new year, on the 12th of January, I'm gonna be recording. I'm gonna watch my very first podcast. I'm gonna give feedback and stuff. That's gonna be painful to watch. Yeah, a lot of people, as I mentioned before, Joey Diaz always said he never liked to watch himself on TV or listen to himself doing comedy and stuff like that. Speaking of Joey Diaz, he's got a movie coming out soon. The Many Saints of Newark will be out soon, and it's gonna be. I'm really looking forward to this. As a big fan of Sopranos and as a big fan of Joey Diaz, if you ever watched the remake of The Longest Yard, Joey Diaz is in it. With the new Spider-Man movie coming out, Joey Diaz is in Spider-Man 2. The guy who stood at when Doc Ock ripped apart the carriage in New York, and I say, if you want to get to him, you gotta go through me. That was Joey Diaz. That was oh Jesus, I can't remember what year Spider-Man 2 came out, but that was a long time ago. Let me just check real quick on the telephone. So Spider-Man 2. As I'm recording this, I have Joey Diaz there on pause. Funnily enough, his podcast, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. The movie, not the game. Thank you very much. 2004. It was recent. 2004. Wow. That's quite a. Yeah, that's quite a. It's quite a time away. Well, that's crazy. So 2004, that was quite an age away. So that's that anyway. So now the big news. The rabbit's out of the bag, as they say. And this year, Halloween fell on a weekend. Funnily enough, it is. So it's going to be a Sunday. So the 31st is when we will see if I still have it or not. Hopefully I still do. But most definitely be a bit of fun, bit of interesting. How should I put? Just I'm looking forward to this. Be really good fun, and we shall be back next week with another podcast. But I'll throw. What did I say? I'll throw links up to Thunderslap's Facebook page and James's YouTube channel. If you're that way inclined, you can check them both out, and she'll talk to you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.